Okay, so think about this. A poor Austrian kid, right, with a dream so huge most people just laughed at him. But he didn't just, hope for it. He actually built it systematically, sculpted it really, became this icon. Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into the story of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, the journey is just incredible from a tiny village in Austria after the war to a competitive bodybuilding, then Hollywood superstardom, and even the governor's mansion in California. We all know I'll be back. But how did he do that? Maintain that relentless spirit across totally different, really tough field. That's what we want to explore, the mindset behind it all.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating, I think, is starting from basically nothing, like zero connections, not much money, that thick accent everyone talks about. How do you build that kind of drive, that crystal clear vision right from the beginning? We should try to unpack those foundations, how he wasn't just reacting, but seemed to be actively like engineering his own future.
Okay, let's dive into those early years then. Our sources talk a lot about Thel, this small village in Austria, post-war. Things were basic, like no central heating, very few comforts. And his home life sounds intense. Very strict father, almost militaristic. Some sources even mention him being, well, abusive. It's hard to imagine that kind of environment. But somehow, in the middle of all that difficulty, young Arnold finds his escape, bodybuilding.
Right. And it wasn't just like a casual hobby, was it? It became everything, his sanctuary. It was a space where he could have complete control, which he probably didn't have much of elsewhere in his life. He sees Reg Park in a magazine. He's only 15, and bam, that's it. It becomes this almost like his first major project. He got incredibly systematic about it even back then.
Stack, how so?
Well, the research shows he was logging everything, like every single meal, every rep, every set, treating his body almost like a science experiment. That discipline, which probably came from needing some control, needing a clear goal, that laid the groundwork. It really did. It was this deep psychological outlet, turning a tough background into, well, into fuel for ambition, shaped his resilience completely.
Wow. That kind of focus is,
Yeah.
yeah, it's incredible. So that drive, the one he honed back in Austria,
Yeah.
that carried him straight to America, to Venice Beach.
Exactly. And he didn't just show up, he sort of exploded onto the scene. He changed bodybuilding, not just with his physique, which was obviously dominant, but with his personality, his relentless self-promotion.
He was already thinking bigger, wasn't he? Beyond just lifting weights.
Totally. He won Mr. Olympia 7 times, which is amazing in itself. But even then, you can see he was using those wins as stepping stones, already planning the next move, looking beyond the stage.
So bodybuilding wasn't the end goal. It was more like a vehicle.
Precisely. He understood it was a platform. He wasn't just building muscle. He was building the Arnold brand, building an audience. Every win, every interview, he leveraged it, used it to open doors. First media, then incredibly Hollywood.
Yeah, and talk about facing skepticism there. The accent, the unusual physique for a leading man back then.
Right. Huge skepticism. But he just applied that same laser focus, the one he learned lifting weights, applied it to mastering acting, to finding his niche. He didn't see his differences as limits. He made them his signature.
Which is pretty smart when you think about it.
And it worked. Conan, the Terminator, he became this massive global star, just defied all the odds. He didn't just break in. He kind of rewrote the rules for what a Hollywood star could be, all while adapting, learning on the fly. Much like adjusting a training routine, I suppose. And then politics, governor of California. That leap still feels pretty surprising. It does, but maybe it shouldn't. If we pull back, what's the common thread here? It wasn't about being the most natural actor or the most seasoned politician from day one. It was, I think, about this core belief in self-reinvention, this incredibly disciplined approach to setting, frankly, audacious goals and just achieving them. That determination really seems forged by that early adversity, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He didn't just dream it. He built a plan, brick by brick. Didn't matter what people said.
Yeah, he just kept going.
So thinking about this whole arc, what's the takeaway for you listening? Arnold's story really drives home how one single passion, maybe found in tough times, can ignite this extraordinary life path. What really stands out to you about someone being able to sort of engineer their own reality like that, moving from that small village to global fame, just by constantly saying, I'll be back, and then actually doing it, makes you think, right?